Let's talk about reloads when we're leaving cover, shooting from cover in the open, and how some of the rules apply to whether walls are hard cover or just vision barriers or soft cover. Some of these rules can be very confusing, but honestly, after you learn the rules properly, it just adds more flavor to the game. And this is a game. You're doing a lot of tactical moves and weapon manipulations and use of cover, but it is still, remind you, just a game, okay? Just a great game to practice technical skills. But as far as the rules go, you need to ask some questions, and let's go through this. We're started loaded and holstered with 6 rounds. So that first magazine was downloaded and the others are on our belt. On the start signal, from this cover position on the right side, we're going to slice the pie from the right to left, 2 rounds each. And the gun will go empty, hopefully slide lock, after those 6 shots. Now, the question is do we need to finish our reload before we leave this cover across this line, or can we do it as we move across? Well, that depends on the type of wall this is. If we are pretending that this black wall is hard cover, like a brick wall that it would in real life stop bullets, then we can initiate the reload as we leave cover, as long as we complete it before we're exposed to that first target, okay? And then as we come around, we're going to engage these. Since they're equal distance, we would engage them in any order. They're one level of priority, equal distance in the open, okay? Now, if this had been a soft cover wall, which I like to use the white walls for soft cover, it's just a vision barrier, like a clothesline full of clothes or cardboard box. It's something that doesn't stop bullets, and we're pretending that it's soft cover or just a vision barrier. That's not going to protect you, so you have to be completely reloaded after running dry before you exit this position. But again, reload and then exit the position and then engage these targets equal priority the same way in the open. Okay, so that covers reloads, whether you can leave cover or not, depending on the hard cover or vision barriers out there. You may need to ask questions of the stage designer, match director, SOs, to ask them, will I get a penalty if I do this or that? And they'll say yes or no. Now, there's a little subtlety in stage design where if the stage designer makes a mistake and they want you to shoot these near to far, there's more than 6 feet between these targets, you're in the open, so the rules would naturally dictate near to far. But the problem is as you're coming across here, you're exposed to the far one first and then the near one. If they design a stage this way, you may actually ask will it be a penalty if I engage the first one I'm exposed to and then this one? Because they're significantly separated. Most of the time they're going to say, no, that's not a penalty. And you need to clear that up. You could call it bad stage design, where they maybe need to have these more narrowed up or something like that, or have the far one, the near one first, and then then if you do that and you come around, you've naturally got near to far, you're not going to have that problem. So that is a couple of scenarios. Let me break this down and show you another couple of situations that are slightly more tricky. You're going to want to hang around and watch this. So give me a second to reset. Okay, so I've rearranged this slightly. Now we're still starting out with 6 rounds behind cover, but you can only see 2 targets on the start signal. So from cover, from this position, you're going to engage these 2 rounds, that's 4 rounds total. You're going to still have 2 rounds left in your gun. So you can technically leave this position of cover without any penalty regardless of what type of walls there are, because your gun is still loaded. And then you can engage these 3 targets. If you were to see them all at the same time, it would be near to far. 1, 2, 3, in that order. That's not how this works. Okay, since I'm coming across here and I'm exposed to this target first, if you can see, I'm exposed to it before these others, then I am committed to engaging this target next. Because it's the next one I'm exposed to, I have no choice but to engage it next with the required 2 rounds or more. Okay, now, could I wait till I get around this wall? Yes, there's no problem with that. This is just an open area. So, but when I come around here, if I engage these in this order, I'm going to get a penalty. Okay, if I engage this one first, that's not a penalty. That's correct. And then I went across this way. I engaged these 2 remaining targets far to near. I'd get a penalty. So if you're going to shoot it coming across here, you would shoot this one as you're coming through that slot, and then near to far. If you're going to wait till you get around the wall, you have to still engage this one first and then near to far. So it'd be this one, and this one. Then you advance on to the next position. Now, because there's always somebody coming up with something different, let's throw another curve at you. Let's say I have 6 rounds on the start signal. I engage 3 rounds. I run dry behind cover. Can I leave this position and reload across here, or do I have to reload before I leave? Well, that's going to start begging the question, are these barrels painted black and designated as hard cover? Is the wall designated as hard cover? Because you can only leave this position if these are hard cover and then be reloaded before you're exposed or before you're exposed. So whether these are hard cover or not, you could have a vision barrel here. That means you're pretty much going to have to reload before you leave cover. If this was hard cover, maybe that buys you a few more feet, but that's going to be a tough one. You're not going to gain very much advantage going 3 each. Now, you could call a miss and fire 3 on the second target because you called a miss, and then your gun is technically still loaded. You could leave and come out here, and you would have to fire 1 round, reload 1 more round, and then these in order. That's a couple of different ways you could shoot it legally.